Welcome to the Build From Here podcast. On this episode, I'm so excited to be introducing to you CGA member Jason Albano. Really an incredible member. His story is really encouraging. When he submitted it and I kind of read over that, I was like, wow, a lot of people have this same story. They start this journey, they go down a path, and then they find themselves at a place where they don't know if things are going to work out. And that's kind of where the story really begins with Jason. And as he shared, like he came to a place where it was basically a hard pill to swallow on where his dog was at. Gun shyness was kind of one of the big concerns, like, man, this dog may not turn out. So if that is you, and if you've had that experience, I think you're really going to enjoy this episode. But Jason has a lot more to offer in this, lots of tips, lots of value that we're going to be able to pull out from his story. And so I'm so excited. I also want to just say Jason is, I want to honor him on this call before we get going. And a model Cornerstone member. I mentioned this on the live leader call we had the other night. We have we have leaders within Cornerstone that are helping support the community. And we had this call, and Jason was out blowing some snow because of that northeast storm that happened up there, and he wasn't able to make it on the call. But I had hopped on one of their calls at the Boston chapter. He heads up the Boston chapter, and hopped on one of these calls, and I don't even know if they knew I was on for a little bit. I just kind of popped in after I put the kids to bed, and Jason was just taking the time and listening to members and encouraging them and helping them on the journey. And honestly, it was I was like, wow, this is so cool to have people like this helping other people. And that honestly, he is a model member in showing our culture. Our culture is that we care about people, right? We prioritize relationships and connection. And Jason fully embodied that core value on that few minutes that I was able to hop on and hear what was going on. It was just so cool to see. So that said, Jason, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome aboard. Excited to share your story.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Very excited.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be great. I know. I'm excited to talk about your pup, or really, you've got two pups now. So we'll kind of dive into that in a minute. But before we go into the pups and all of that, let's just go in, man. Where did you grow up? I would love for people to get to know you a little bit, and then we'll dive into the fun stuff on the dogs, and then the really fun stuff everybody wants to see, which is the problems.
Yeah, right. So from right outside Boston, Massachusetts, I own a landscaping company. And clearly it's winter right now, so we're not doing any work right now.
Tell me about that snowstorm you guys just had, because we don't understand what that is like down here in Alabama. Like the worst we've ever got was Snowmageddon, and that might have been like 10 inches.
So we got about 2.5 feet with this snowstorm. And the thing about this one, it was a blizzard, so it dropped 4 inches an hour, and it was just so hard for people to keep up with it. Yeah, it was.
What brutal. When you say, what does 2.5 feet look like? Does that like cover up?
Yeah, you're
the
covering
driveway
up
completely. Like, can you even get out the house?
No, if you don't keep up with it, you cannot get out. It's
really.
Yeah. It's
Whoa.
And then there's things called snow drifts. So the wind will blow the snow, and what happens is you can have 2 inches on one side, but you can have 5 feet on the other side.
Really? So like doors could be like kind of blocked off.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, this all really started with, I wanted a dog, had to get a dog. So it all really started with my wife and I, before we got married, we got Maggie, who was a field golden retriever. And I did not know what a field golden retriever was at the time. I was like, I just got a golden, okay. But then
when you got Maggie, was that just like for y'all's family dog?
It was a fan. Like I said, I have no hunting background whatsoever in my family. My father never hunted. No one in my family. There's no history of hunting whatsoever.
Did y'all ever do any outdoor stuff?
What we do, we're avid fishermen. We love fishing. We go to Cape Cod. We go to the Northeast, and absolutely love fishing. You can see it on the so go to the Northeast, fish, black sea bass, striped bass, tuna, you name it, we're catching it. So that's what we would do. There was no hunting. So we got Maggie, and she was a family dog, and we just, she was a great dog, and then after that we had about 3 kids, 3 wonderful children, two girls and a boy. and the kids absolutely love Maggie. But again,
How old are the kids now?
I have 12, soon to be 12, 8, and 6. So
Oh, wow, that's cool.
yeah,
That's cool.
very, 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 very busy right now. Um, but they're great kids. So as the years went by, Maggie turned 12, and I decided, my wife says, I wanted another puppy. So I went to get another golden, right up in New Hampshire. But Marlene, when we went up there, she is a English cream golden. So different breed. I don't think English cream goldens were really bred to hunt. I think it was more of a family dog. So we got her, brought her home, and then a few years later, Maggie did pass away.
Mm,
Which it's
it's part of
never
it, yeah.
fun to lose a dog.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, where did the hunting come in,
Yeah. So
so you got this when you got, Marlene, were you
yeah,
thinking about hunting at the time, or is this still
no,
you're thinking just getting another dog for the
just
family?
getting another dog. Just
Okay.
wasn't thinking about hunting whatsoever. I fish from late April to mid September. You can fish later than that, but I have 3 kids. They go back to school. I have no time to run down the Cape and go fishing with
How
sports
far
and
is
school
Cape
activities.
Cod for you? Do you have is it
About an
like
hour and 20.
it's
Hour
not
and
bad,
20
okay.
minutes. Yeah, so it's not bad at all, right outside Boston. Um, so between October and I'd say January, I had really nothing to do. You know, I just I needed to fill a void, or fill a gap in a hobby. And I hate golf. I tried golf and I'm not golfing. It's just not
Yeah,
happening.
I'm not too good at that either, man. I've spent a lot of money on golf balls, I'll say that.
Yeah, exactly. I gave up on it. My clubs are, built like in the basement, buried somewhere. Um, so my friend Sam, he said to me, he goes, "Why don't you try hunting?" Sam pheasant hunts, he deer hunts, he does some duck hunting. He goes, "Why don't you try hunting?" I said, "Sure. Like, what do I need to do? I have no idea how to start this process." And he told me, "Get your LTC, because you need a license to carry in Massachusetts, and get your hunting license." I said, "Okay, no problem." Did all that, got my Mossberg 500. I went to an outdoor store and I said, "Hey, listen, I need a shotgun for pheasant hunting." And they said, "Okay, Mossberg 500." It was like $500, and I was ready to go. 20 gauge. So
Nice,
I was
nice.
ready to
Love the
go.
20 gauge.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so ready to go. And Sam has a GSP, a um, GSP Hound mix. Sorry.
Nice.
And yeah, great dog. His name was Blue. His name is Blue. Sorry, he's still
Blue.
around. Yep,
Classic, classic.
classic, right? GSP name. we so Sam says, opening day is coming up. I'm gonna take you to a hunting spot a little further out that's stocked. It's a WMA, and they stock it once. So Massachusetts they'll stock once, twice, or 3 times depending on the size of the field and how many people they get. But he wanted to take me to a smaller area because it was my opening day and it was Blue's opening day. So he didn't want a bunch of shotguns going off and going crazy.
Right.
Um, which I was like, okay, thank you so much. This is new to me. Because the only time I really shot my shotgun was at a shooting range, or skeet shooting.
Well, I gotta
Um,
ask something here because I'm just thinking is what you're telling me. I see a license to carry. That
yeah,
means to even have a gun, like, in the vehicle at all, or
yeah. So
to
you
have
can
a gun
have
at all. What does that mean?
That's so license to carry, or you can get a license. Sorry, you can get a license to carry, or you can do. I don't know what the other class is called. I think it's Class B. I could be wrong. People are gonna say no,
Yep.
no, no. Like, but um, license to carry is pretty much you have to apply to get a gun. Um,
Wow. Wow.
so yeah, yeah, you can't just go to a store and buy a gun. Nope, you need to go to the police station, fill out paperwork, background check, everything like that.
Okay. Yeah, we have to do
Yeah.
background check here, but you don't have to go, like, apply. You could go and then I've been into a gun store one time, and, I think I was buying a shotgun, and, this one guy, was buying it, and then they turned him down. Like, I guess the background check didn't check out. Says, "Yeah, we can't sell it to you today. Come back
Oh,
another
wow.
day." I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, that's a little funny," but then I ended up getting mine, no problem. But I think that has to do with the past history on someone and all that. But that's
E ex
interesting right there
Yeah.
because the culture. The reason I'm asking. I'm curious for hunters as a culture, like where I'm at in Alabama. Like hunting is a pretty big part of the culture, at least from where I grew up. I grew up in a school called the Corn for short, because we had cows right next to our school, and like we're out in the middle of nowhere, and all my buddies hunted. So like that's just
Yeah.
part of like the culture. Seems like it's a little bit different up there. So that's interesting to me, and I'm like getting into that's a little intimidating to be getting into something like that. I feel like if the culture is different, because there's some barriers to entry there.
Oh, the culture is definitely different. I'm not sure about down south, but can you guys hunt on Sundays?
Yes,
We
yes.
cannot hunt here on Sundays. We are not
Really?
allowed to. Yep.
Wow.
Um, I'm not sure why. I think they're gonna change it, but yeah, the culture is definitely different
At
up
the
here.
anywhere, even on private land or just WMA?
Anywhere, anywhere,
Wow,
even bow
wow.
hunting, anything like that. Yep.
Interesting. Hmm,
So, yeah. Um, so yeah, just so we went to the WMA, and Sam brought me out there, and he says, "Okay, Jason, you go to," and sorry, Sam has trained Blue. He trained him, Blue himself. So,
okay.
he told me, "Go to the right side of the field. I'm gonna go to the left with Blue." He goes, "You don't have a dog. You gotta kick up all the thorns and everything, and, just go through it and see what you can get." Um, he wanted to focus on Blue. He didn't want me really around Blue yet, just because it's Blue's first time, wanted Blue to focus. Wasn't sure how it was gonna turn out. Um,
Wow.
so I'm walking through, I'm getting all messed up with thorns and, sticks and everything going in my boots, and, so I look over and I see Blue walking around sniffing, and Sam's kinda standing there watching Blue, following Blue a little bit, and all of a sudden I see Blue point, and I'm just saying, and then all of a sudden, pheasant pops up. Sam walks over, pheasant pops up, shoots it, throws it in his bag. I'm like, wow, this is great. Like, and I'm walking around trying to, you know, get a bird up by kicking myself, and I'm my dog. I'm my own dog. Um,
Wow.
so again, Blue does it again. Points. Sam walks over, kicks up the bird, shoots it again, and he has his limit within 15 minutes. And I'm
Whoa.
thinking to myself, I'm just like, wow. I'm like, this is amazing. I'm like, this is absolutely great. Um, and Sam's just big smile on his face. He asked me, he goes, "Hey, Jason, you take a picture of me and Blue with the birds?" And I said, "Of course." Take a picture, and I'm looking at the camera. I just see this big smile on his face, and Blue's standing up so straight like this, like really proud. And I'm like, this is awesome. This is great.
Whoa.
I missed a bird. A bird flew by me. I missed it. First time hunting. I was like, okay, I got to shoot my gun. It's okay. I missed it. Um, and on my way home in the truck, I'm like, I need a hunting dog. This is my first day hunting, and I'm like, I need a hunting dog. And I'm thinking to myself, I was like, well, I have a dog at home. I have a golden retriever, and I was like, I can train Marlene to hunt. There's no problem. Sam did it. He did it with his GSP. Like, why can't I do it with my dog? Um, so I ordered a bunch of books. Books didn't really work out for me. I'm more of a visual person. So, I had to, I was like, how can I do this? Got on YouTube. I'm a YouTube warrior. I mean, I'll watch fishing videos all day on YouTube. So I said, you know
Amen.
what?
Amen.
yeah, yeah. I
Life
had to
by the
watch.
Bow, Gale Force Twins. I love all those, man.
That's
The
it,
girls,
right?
they love it. The girls love the Gale Force
Yeah.
Twins because they're family friendly. So
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep. That is a great podcast as well.
yeah.
So got on YouTube and
How old was
saw
Marlene at this? Yeah, this is
Marlene
Marlene we're talking
was,
about.
yes, sorry, yeah, because Maggie passed away.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Marlene she was about 6 months, 7 months.
Okay. So at
Yep.
this point, you weren't
Um,
thinking about having a hunting dog, and then now all of a sudden you've had this amazing experience, and it's like, I got a hunting dog now. Let's go.
yeah, yeah. Because,
That's cool.
even back then, like, I didn't know people had dogs for hunting. I didn't know anything like that. I had no idea.
Yeah.
When I had Maggie, who was a field golden, I had no idea she was bred to hunt. Like, I didn't know that was I know they're great family dogs as well, but I thought they were just Goldens. I didn't know there was, like, 4 different types of golden retrievers. Um, so, um, so I went on YouTube, and I was watching a bunch of videos, and, I would take piece by piece of the videos, and I said, "Okay, well, Marlene already knows how to sit. She already knows how to retrieve. She's okay at heel work." So I was kind of like looking at them and I'm like, okay, she knows this, she knows this, she knows this. So in my head, I'm like, all she really I need to know if she's afraid of a gun. Um, which,
Yep.
now looking back, I'm like, I'm a terrible person. Um,
Hey, look, that's the general thought. Like,
yeah,
so the truth is, that's a reasonable thought. I'll say that. It's not that you just if you don't know, you don't know. But that is a reasonable question. Like, okay, I got to make sure my dog is good with gunfire. If you
yep,
don't know, right? I
yes.
know where you're going with this. Based on what you just said, I already have a feeling on. I know where this is going.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so, yep. So I buy the blank pistol. I take her in the field, and I have her. She was very good at steady. Like, with her food, I had her wait, and she was really good at that. Before, and I tell her, okay, you can eat now. So she was actually really good at being steady. So had her sit, wait. I went 100 yards, and I shot the blank, and nothing, like nothing. She didn't jump or anything. Got closer, shot it again. I didn't throw any bumper. Like, when I watched the video, no one was throwing a bumper. So I was like,
Mm.
okay. So I shot the gun again, closer, shot the gun again, and so on, and nothing. No flinch, nothing. Um, then
Was
I
someone
tried with
holding her, or you just had her just sitting there?
I just had her sitting there.
That's pretty
Um,
good. That's good.
yeah, I
Good
mean,
obedience.
she's very obedient dog. But as the story goes on, you'll hear more. Um, So the next day, I really didn't waste any time. So the next day, I got some blanks for my shotgun and did the shotgun shooting with the blanks, just a little louder, and still nothing, didn't move or anything like that. So I said, okay, she's ready. I just did this once. There was no repetition. There was no, I wasn't like doing it like like once a week or anything like that. She did it once, and I was like, she's ready to go. Um, Opening day came, we're ready to go. I've got Marlene a new vest. She's got a nice bright orange vest. She's excited. She sees the gun. She sees her. I do have an e-collar on her just in case she runs to the road or something like that, just for safety.
Yeah.
Um, and we went to Medfield, Massachusetts, and it's another small WMA for pheasant. Opening day, and I was like, this is awesome. No one was there, so I'm like, this is perfect. No one's gonna show up. And we just got on the field and started hunting, and she was sniffing around, and I was like, this is like, she's doing awesome. Like, nothing can go wrong here. um all of a sudden, I look over the parking lot because it's small. I look over, one car shows up, another car
Mm.
shows up, about 15 cars shows up, and there's 4
Whoa.
people in each car, and they each have 2 dogs in each car. And
Holy
I'm
moly.
saying, yeah, 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 it was like a war zone.
Oh, man.
I But Marlene had, like, she saw the dogs and everything. I got nervous in the beginning because I didn't know how she'd react with other dogs, hunting with other dogs, and she had no issue whatsoever, running around with other dogs running around. Like, she stayed with me. She went, you know, was looking for the birds, went in, and a guy came up to me, started talking to me, and his dog, he had a black lab, very nice guy, just started talking to me. But there was a pheasant, there was a rooster 2 feet away from us that Marlene didn't see.
Oh, no.
The black lab kicked up the rooster. The guy shot really close, not too close to Marlene, but shot near Marlene, and that's when she started jumping on me.
Mm.
So she started jumping on me, and after that, she started running around again looking for birds. So I didn't really think anything of it. Another shot went off. She kind of went down like that, and then jumping on me uncontrollably, and I knew something was wrong.
Oh, man.
Um, yeah. So I just I got her, we were walking back to the car, and I wanted to be calm about it because I didn't want to bring it to her attention, like saying, it's okay, it's okay. I didn't want to bring it
Yeah.
to her attention. But another shot went off, and that's when she started to bolt to my truck.
Oh, man.
Definitely got really nervous about it. Um, so got her in the truck. On the way home, I'm thinking to myself, I just ruined my dog. I just like I ruined my dog. I thought she was ready. I felt terrible. I wasn't mad at her. I was mad at myself. I was like, I did something wrong and I don't know how I'm gonna fix it. So I get home, I tell my wife about it, and she's just like, "Have you thought about hiring a trainer instead of going to YouTube?" And I said, "Yeah, you know what? I'll make a few calls." Made a few calls. I can't afford that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. It's not
um,
cheap. I'll say it's not
but
cheap.
but they also wanted my dog for 2 years,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah,
Wow.
they said, master hunter, 18 to 24 months for 2 years, and I was like, I'm not you're not having my dog for 2 years, like, we're not doing this."
Wow. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and it was a lot of money a month. Um, so I went back on YouTube just to see what's going on, and all of a sudden, you know, the moment when the Cornerstone thing popped up, when I was on Facebook, and I said, "Let me just try this. Let me give it a shot." I went into it. I had When I signed up, I had no idea there was like a community and a forum and everything like that. I thought I was just getting a list of things to do, and yeah, so signed up for that, and I started from the beginning. So I did the 52 week, started from the beginning, and, even though I knew she knew sit, even though I knew she knew heel and retrieve, but she didn't know place. I had no idea what to teach place because I don't have a list of things on YouTube. I'm just clicking videos that pop up. So it was just
Yeah.
random. Yeah. Um, so we went through all that and we were just going through the whole program. And when we were going through all that, Marlene's confidence level was just like through the roof. It was just a totally different dog. Her confidence level and my confidence level. Um, and it's just, yeah. So, after going through that and we are going through the lessons, and then, we practiced the gun training on there. And I think with her confidence and, cause when I shot the first blank again, I thought she was going to like jump on me or bolt, but she was just standing still. Like her chest, like it was like blue. Her chest was like out, like
Wow.
super excited. Just, and like, I think she was more excited the gun shot off than anything.
Dude, that's
Um,
awesome. I gotta ask a question here.
yeah.
So, so you started from the beginning, so that took you a little bit of time to get back through there.
Mhm.
Um, what so you weren't in a hurry at this point. You decided, look, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna go back and we're gonna take our time and make sure we do it right.
Yes.
How
Yep.
was it going through the structured, easy to follow system compared to the YouTube videos just in the first few weeks? Did you notice any difference for yourself, um, in the first few weeks or for the dog? What did that look like? Because that's definitely a different flow than getting on YouTube, and the YouTube videos are cool, but there's a lot of good YouTube videos, but like you said, you're clicking random videos and there's just no structure.
Yeah, no, there's no structure. So with the cornerstone, when I went through, so I'm gonna actually quote someone that was on the dream team meeting that says you need the ingredients for the recipe.
That's right.
Um, so it's yeah. So I mean, with the cornerstone, I felt like I had it. It gave me more patience with my dog when I was seeing everything on there. Um, just having that list of things to do because everything adds up. Like you throw this ingredient there, and then that complements this ingredient and complements this ingredient. So it definitely, that helped me and my dog and Marlene. Um,
That's cool. Maybe took the
yeah,
pressure off you a little bit. I would
it.
imagine,
Oh, for sure.
'cause especially with how it seemed like honestly, what you were saying, it seems like training was going pretty good. You clearly knew what
Yeah,
you're doing on the obedience, like, to have your dog sit at 100 yards, that shows that you're doing something.
yeah.
But, after that experience, that definitely has you questioning everything,
I was
you know?
very, very hesitant, questioning everything. And like I said, when you start from the beginning, it we did kind of speed through um, the pro, not speed through because she already knew some of it. But like I said, when she was doing it, when I had her sit, like going through that process again, she did have the confidence to do everything. But yeah, it did take the pressure off both of us. Um,
Wow.
so when we took her hunting, so we went through the process, did the gunshot, practiced everything. It was
How did
Thanksgiving
you
morning.
feel after going back through the gunfire? I'm sure that first session you're really sweating it,
Oh, I
you know.
was holding my breath the whole time. Um,
Oh
we
man.
did it differently because my daughter came with me, and she held the leash while I shot, um, and I threw the bumper. So it was, I think, throwing the bumper distracted her from the gunshot as well, but
Mhm.
it gave her a purpose. So I when I did it in the beginning, the first time with the YouTube video, she didn't have a purpose. I shot the gun and she just stood there.
Wow.
Now when I shoot the gun and I threw the bumper, she's like, okay, like that's a bird. I need to go get it. Um, so yeah, I was sweating bullets, and and she just did great. She did really well, and we did that many, many, many times. That just
Made
wasn't a
sure it
one
was right
time
this
deal.
time.
I
Yeah.
made sure it was right. We just practiced so many times.
What did your
But
wife
not
say after coming back and things? I'm assuming she was pretty ecstatic that
Yeah,
it went good.
yeah, yeah. Well, she could just see on my face I was so discouraged. I think she felt more
Yeah.
bad for me than anything. Felt bad for Marlene, and yeah, she was very, very happy that Marlene handled the gunshots pretty
Wow.
well. So practice, practice, practice. Pheasant season came up again.
So this
We
is the real defining moment here.
This is a real defining moment. So I I wanted to practice some more, so I didn't take her a couple of times. I think I was just nervous at this point. I did not want to see that she was scared again. I was afraid. But it was actually Thanksgiving morning, and my oldest daughter, she said, "Hey, Dad, do you want to go pheasant hunting?" And I said, "Great." I'm like, your daughter asked if you want to go hunting. You say yes. You do not
Mhm.
say no. um, And I said, "This will be a tradition. We'll start this up." And she goes, "Can we take Marlene?" I said, "Yeah, for sure." Like, yeah, yes. I was like, "You know what? Why not? Let's do it." Um, we take Marlene. We go to the same place in Medfield, because it's only 20 minutes away. Couldn't waste any time on Thanksgiving. Couldn't take too much time up. So we went to Medfield, and Marlene jumps out of the truck. She's all ecstatic, and it's just a different dog. Just
Really?
confidence level through
Wow.
the roof. Yeah, just
And
totally
this is the
different dog.
same place. You're going back to the scene
We're
of
going
the
back to the
incident.
scene of the crime. Yeah. um, so no fear of going back. That's what ran across my mind. I was like, she's gonna see this place and say, "No, I'm getting back in the truck. I'm not staying here." Um, but no, she went out. She was wagging her tail. She was sniffing around. And Maeve and we got our vest on. I got my gun, and we started walking. And we're walking around, and Marlene, um, she doesn't point much because I just noticed golden retrievers don't point much. So she kind of just sniffs and she scares the bird. So,
Yeah.
and I haven't really trained her to point, so that's on me too. But she scared the bird. I go to shoot it and I miss it. And I I look over very slowly just to see if Marlene's still there, because I was like, if she bolted, I'm in trouble. I look over to see if she's still there, and she's still there, and she's looking at me like, "Dude, are you kidding me? Like, I set that bird up for you, and you failed." And I felt so bad. I felt
Whoa.
terrible, but she did not bolt. She actually, after I missed that bird, she just kept going, like searching around. Unfortunately, we did not find another bird that day because it was a
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. They stopped stalking, and we were lucky enough to find that bird. But I was just so grateful that my daughter was there and got to see that training works.
Wow.
She did not get scared, and like I said, I think Marlene was just more mad at me for missing the bird.
Dude, that's incredible. That
Yeah.
is a testament to the work you put in because miss unfortunately, they didn't get to have that reward that they need to
I know.
reinforce, but, I mean, clearly I think that's also a testament to the style of training that we do at Cornerstone and how you implemented it because this whole thing is about gets to, not has to. So,
Yes.
like, the dog is going to be happy no matter what happens when you train that way because the
Yes.
motivation is I like what you said. It sounds like the dog wanted it just as bad as you, if not more than you wanted it, and that's what we're after. So,
Yeah.
man, good job. That's incredible.
Yeah, yeah, and it's, between me and the dog, we're a team. It's teamwork. That's, it's like 5 basketball players on the court. Like, you all gotta work together. So, that's right now, like, Marlene, we're just buddies, we're a team, and, yeah, I'm excited that she overcame that, and I also overcame it. So,
That's incredible. What's the next time? Have you had I'm assuming you've had a hunt since where you were able to close the deal on some birds.
no, so, I mean, so pheasant season, is over in November, and,
Oh, it ends in
uh
November. Oh, wow. Wow.
yeah, it's early. So Massachusetts, it starts in October, and sorry, it's over December 31st, but they stop stocking in November.
So it's pretty much
So
over at
it's
Thanksgiving
pretty
then.
much over. Um, we did I didn't really get much duck hunting in, just because I just got so caught up with deer.
I understand that now. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Do y'all have big, bucks up there?
Yeah, so I actually, I shotgun hunt a lot, and then this year was my first time bow hunting.
Oh, no, you're
So
addicted now. Yep.
oh my god. So I hunt behind my brother's, house in it's in Holliston, Massachusetts. I hunt behind his house, and it would have been an 8-point buck, but he was a bully buck. He just got all beat up, so all his,
Yeah.
antlers were gone. Um, but he was 180 pounds,
Wow.
and yeah, so I got my first buck bow hunting season this year.
Wow, I
Yeah.
mean, to kill a buck with a bow, it takes something. I want to do better at bow hunting. I tend to do better when I'm about 500 yards away and that they can't see me or smell me or hear
Yeah.
me
Yep. Yeah, I
with a
did
rifle.
everything. I did everything in, like, my 'cause my cousin bow hunts, and he's like, "Hey, you need to smoke your clothes. You need to do this, you need to do that." So I'm outside, like, I use the beehive can smoker to smoke my
Yeah.
clothes. Um, I'm smoking my underwear, in front of people walking by. That's how crazy I got.
Whoa. Yeah, that'll get you fired up right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, so, I've got, other questions. So that was
Yeah.
a huge defining moment. That went great. And so you've continued the training. Was that this past Thanksgiving,
Yes.
2025? So
Yes.
so now you've got another dog too. What made you decide to go ahead and pull the trigger and get another dog?
Um, yeah, so, like, both dogs were my choice, my wife says. So I like Marlene, like, she still needs more training, my 2-year-old dog, and, you know, we're still working on some things, but I I always wanted 2 dogs. I always like having 2 dogs in the house. When Maggie passed away, it was kinda like an empty void, we needed 2
Yeah,
dogs. I feel like 2 dogs, Marlene needs a friend as well. So I said, "Why don't we
100%.
get also a hunting buddy for you?" I don't know what I was thinking, but it's yeah. So we have a 12-week-old field golden now, Goose, who's from Colorado, and her mom and dad are actually their master. I don't really know the hunt test terminology, but I think they're master. They just passed their masters or something and hunt
That's great.
tests.
Yeah, they're probably master hunters, I would imagine, got their
Yes,
titles, or
actually
maybe even master
yesterday.
national. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
wow. Wow.
yeah, yeah. So Goose is from a great bloodline. I got her because just I want to continue training. Like, I want to start over again. I know with, Marlene, like, you got to reintroduce things every year. But I enjoyed so much training Marlene. I wanted another puppy to train again, to just do the same thing and watch her grow and see her progress.
Wow. How,
Yeah.
so when did you get your puppy? About 8 or 9 weeks?
I got
Old
Goose 8 weeks. Yep. Yep.
8 weeks. So you're already
Yep.
going through some of the first few weeks of Cornerstone. How is that going for you with Goose? Kind of, you're different this time. You're starting from ground zero, following the easy to follow system.
So training Marlene was a lot easier because she was older and she already knew some of the things. Training Goose is like training a firecracker right now. She's everywhere. But it's so Marlene was easier, but Goose also, since she has the bloodline in her, she has, the hunting DNA in her. She's also doing really well. Um,
Wow,
but training and so Goose already knows place, she knows heel, she knows sit, she already
that's
knows
pretty good.
steady.
Wow,
Yeah, she's retrieving. Because she was
that
also
is a
trained to
firecracker. Very driven there.
she's very driven and a high prey drive. Marlene, I had to kind of get a prey, like build that prey drive into her. But
Yeah.
Goose has that prey drive, and training her, it's they're both different in the same way, but also the same in the same way. But using Cornerstone, it just makes it easy. And
Wow.
having those courses, and you can just go back to those courses. It's great because like if you had YouTube, sometimes I'd lose a video and be like, oh, I got to find a new one or do this. But having that forum is just you have it right there and you're good to go.
Wow. Yeah. I love the drivey dogs. It's and there's nothing wrong with like a dog like Marlene, but it is
Yep.
nice to it's it is easier to hold one back than it is to push one forward, if that makes sense. It's
Yes.
definitely easier to kinda you almost want them a little overboard so that you can kinda pull them back in, if you like that type of thing. Some people may not. Some people may want that more calm, relaxed dog, and I will say sometimes the more drivey dogs are a little harder to handle, but once you get a hold of them, like, and you get dialed in, it's money. They're good.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, and Goose, I mean, one day she'll listen and one day she won't. But we're getting there. And, some days I notice she doesn't want anything to do with me and, the training. And I leave her be. I'm like, "Oh, you know what? Let's do it tomorrow." Because I don't want her to you know, I don't want her to not like me doing the training or anything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're doing the right thing. A lot of people, one of the big mistakes is they force it. Like I was talking to somebody the other day that maybe a similar story to you. They had an older dog. They were not in Cornerstone yet. I think they actually just joined, but they were having a problem where the dog just was losing interest on things and it was quitting. And kind of the way they actually were using another program, and they had talked about that, and I had asked questions, and I was like, "Well, figuring out what's going on." And one of the things that they were doing is that they were pushing to the point that the dog was tired of doing it, and then they would just stop when the dog quits. And if you
Yes.
wait till the dog quits, you're teaching your dog that it's in control, that it can quit when it wants to. If you choose and you control when you quit, which means stop early, because we're not going to force the dogs past what they want to do, at least at this earlier ages. You might do some of that later when they're older, but, um, early on, especially, you want the dog to quit on your terms, and you want it to still be hungry for more. Leave gas in the tank so that fire is there and it stays there.
Exactly. So yesterday with Goose, I was just working on some retrieving in the house because there's just so much snow on the ground. It's impossible to keep her, in line with me. So we're doing it in the house yesterday, and I would throw the small bumper, the puppy bumper. Didn't want to go get it. Nothing. So I said, okay, we're done. Like we're done here. This morning we did some training. Same thing, grabbed it, brought it to me. We did it 3, 4 times, and that was it. And
Wow.
she looked at me like when I finished and was like, "We're not gonna do more?" It's like, "Nope, I want you hungry tomorrow."
Yep.
Yep,
That is
yep,
such a and that's one of the easiest things to do when you choose to do it, and it's not hard
yes,
to do, and it really does make a huge difference.
yes, yeah, and Marlene's the same way too. Some days she wants it, some days she doesn't. But I'll tell you right now, it is hard to try to train 2 dogs. I mean, I don't I tried it once doing it together, and I was like, never again. Um,
Yeah. Goose
but
is a
it
little
is,
young for that. You could once Goose gets to be about a year or so, it'll be pretty
yeah,
easy to train them both at the same time.
yeah, yeah. But I'm hoping to get Goose on Marlene's level by, this October.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
So
I don't see that being a
yeah,
problem at all. And then Goose
yep,
will be, approaching a year,
yeah,
maybe, um, you got in
yeah. December
February, so
4th.
December, yeah.
They both have the same birthday.
Do they really?
They
That is
do.
crazy, that is
Isn't that
crazy.
crazy? Yeah,
I don't know how
December
that
4th.
happened there, that's wild.
I have no idea. It's just the same time we got the puppy. Yeah, but yeah, Marlene, definitely defied the odds. I went on retriever training sites like Facebook pages, and they just, I said I have an English cream golden, and instantly they're like, "That's not a hunting dog. You can't hunt with that dog." And
Yep,
that's the thing about Facebook and YouTube forums and Cornerstone. Facebook and YouTube, they're going to tear you apart. There are some nice
yep,
people, don't get me wrong. There are
yeah,
some great people that want to help you. But when you go on Cornerstone, it's all help. And you send a message out, and like 2 minutes later, you're getting 9 responses on how, you can get some help,
wow.
which is amazing. Yeah. But yeah,
It is
so
unfortunate, I guess that's the way of the world, I don't know, it's, I've seen some nasty threads on there, and I'm like, "Ooh,
yeah,
that's bad." I
yeah,
feel bad for the person 'cause I'm like, "Man, they genuinely wanted help," and then you get these bozos on here that are just, like, shredding them. I'm like, "That ain't any
it's it's
good." Like, that's not
it's
gonna
it's
help them.
awful. No, it's
It really
awful.
comes, from self-serve one of the things about Cornerstone, like you said, people are helping. We have a culture of, like, we're gonna serve others, and if I take care of you, someone else is taking care of me, I don't have to worry about it. I think that's where it comes down to the just and this is not just dog forums on Facebook, this is just general social media land. It's a self-serving ecosystem of, "I'm going to make myself feel better," and sometimes that involves putting other people down, which is unfortunate 'cause that is a dead-end street anyways, but,
Yeah.
um, we're glad you found us, man. I'm glad you got
No,
into the culture that's supporting you.
I'm so happy it just popped right up on Facebook. The forum that I was getting beat up on, all of a sudden, Cornerstone pops up and one of those sponsored and said, "Hey," I was like, "This is awesome," But like I said, Marlene was, don't. One guy even told me to get rid of my dog, and
Wow.
get rid of her and just get a field golden. And after that, that drove me. I was like, no, like she's gonna be a hunting dog. She's gonna be great. Um, and with Cornerstone, it helped me out 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Most dogs can be trained, and most dogs can be
Yes.
trained to hunt. Like, it's in there somewhere. Most dogs can be trained. It really comes down to I mean, clearly your resolve is there, and you put in the work, man, and seems like you already had a really good dog trucking along there and, had those challenges. I mean, your story is incredible. I know people that are out there that have that gunfire issue are maybe feeling a little bit of relief right now knowing that, okay, it is possible to work this thing around. Let me ask you this, what was so would you just say the secret to fixing your problem with gunfire was to go back and not try to actually directly fix the problem, but go back and work through a process so that the confidence was built?
Yeah, 100%. So I think going back and doing the beginning of the training kind of it helped Marlene forget about the gun shyness. Like I said, it built that confidence up for her. Because if I went right back to it, I don't think she would be a hunting dog right now. I think
Wow.
if, yeah, since I followed the steps from the beginning till then, I think, it definitely helped her because like I said, if I went in there, she would have saw that blank pistol, the shotgun and said, no, running back to the truck. Um, I recommend staying the course and don't skip any steps and you'll find yourself that you'll have a great hunting dog.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Trying to think what else I got for you. I think I've got one goodness. Let me ask you actually, I do have a couple more questions.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about with both Marlene? So Marlene, you still got a time plan for her, like, "We're going here. We've got a vision where we wanna go." You've got it. You're in a good place now. You overcame one of the greatest challenges that you could have, which could prevent her from being a hunting dog. Now you've got a hunting dog. What are you most excited about for, Marlene, and then what are you most excited about for Goose as far as this next year of training? Obviously, I think you mentioned, you're planning to have, Goose pretty well trained by October. Any things on the horizon that stands out to you that you're most excited about?
I'm just excited to get, Marlene back out in that field because it was kind of unfortunate that, pheasant hunting season it was pretty much over. And I'm just excited to have her back out there and, see what she can do. Um, you know, I'm bringing her back, like I bring her back to that field when I can, when there's no snow on the ground. And she absolutely loves it. And you can just see in her face that she's like looking for birds and everything. And I'm just, I can't wait to get her back out there. Um, what I'm excited for Goose is, um, so for Marlene, she's not, um she likes the water, but she's not in love with the water right now. So we're working on that with her. So there's always work to be done with her
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that. What I'm excited for Goose is she loves the water. So I can't wait to get duck hunting with Goose. I don't know. I think Marlene's gonna be able to do it. She knows all the commands and everything like that. It's just that water issue right now. Um,
When you get them both working together and Goose is old enough to do it, oh, you will
yeah.
that won't be a problem at
Well,
all. I
that's
if
what
I've ever had a problem, I always get another dog involved. Like at Member Weekend, like, you'll see, like, some dogs that have never been in the water, and then all of a sudden you see, like, 10 other dogs jump in the water. This dog's like, "Man, that looks fun." They go and jump in, and then it
That's
just
what
it
I'm
just works
excited
out.
about. That's what I'm excited about because I know Goose and I know, like, her parents were very they're water dogs. Maggie, a field golden, she was down the bay. When she ran away, I knew where she was. Maggie was not trained. Maggie was not trained whatsoever. Great dog, but not trained. And when we got home from the beach and she wasn't in the house, she was down the bay swimming, chasing ducks. So,
That's awesome.
she would have been a great hunting dog, just I had no idea what to do.
Yeah.
But for Goose, yeah, I'm totally excited for her to be able to hunt with her sister. Um, get out there and just see that her because Goose has a great prey drive right now, and I can't wait to see that in action.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, I'm
Yeah.
excited. We're gonna have to have another episode. We'll have to follow up this fall
Yeah,
sometime after you get a couple of those hunts, and we'll talk about Goose and Marlene. That's gonna
for
be. I'm
sure.
excited for you, and I'm excited you got this next series of months to train. That'll really set y'all up for success. So you ought to be able
Yeah,
to gain some good traction this summer.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we're gonna get some warm weather coming up and daylight saving, so it's gonna be just amazing to get out there and have them run around and get to work. So
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I'm excited for you, and I just want to just say thank you for hopping on, man. This has been an incredible episode. I know it's encouraging because there's a lot of people out there that need to hear that. I mean, honestly, if you look at some of the biggest gun dog problems, it's water fear and then gunfire fear. Like the dogs, something goes wrong. So I hope this word spreads. I hope everybody that's got a dog listens to this podcast because I know it will help them and encourage them because the truth is it's not over. And I will say you did things right. So looking back on it, like I love what you said. You avoided some of the major mistakes. One of the first mistakes someone makes is when that dog gets fear, they start saying, "Oh, buddy, it's okay." That's a reinforcement, and then you've
yep,
reinforced that fear. You chose not to do that. You did a lot of things right, even before the course. So that really, really helped you. Had you done the others, it would have probably been harder to unravel. But even if that happens, and even if someone's done that, like you still can overcome it. You just don't wanna attack the problem head on because that oftentimes makes the problem worse. Doing what you did, stepping back, going through, and then rebuilding the dog's confidence is pretty much the most proven way to solve those problems.
exactly. Yeah, and once you see that confidence boost, I mean, there's no stopping the dog.
100%. Well, Jason, thank you for hopping on. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to the next episode with you, man. I can't wait to share the story of Marlene and Goose continued.
Hey, thanks for having me.